Emily can't take me seriously.
Oh, I'm like, what is going on here? Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, 3. Face. Give me your face. Serious face. Give me your podcast face. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, what's happening, you guys? Welcome to the Proclivity Podcast. I'm your host, Joel Cochran. I'm here with Emily Rodella, and we got a special guest. We got Stephanie Morrison with us. Stephanie is a graduate of the Proclivity Method, and we are excited to be able to share her experience with you guys. If you're tuning into this podcast right now, it's probably because you're curious. You're like, well, if it works for Stephanie, could it work for me? And the answer is, Emily?
Yes.
Oh, man. If you would have said it depends, we would have had issues. Yes. The answer is yes. It will work for you. And we have Stephanie here. It's going to come straight from the horse's mouth, right? We have not paid her off to do anything. She actually paid us. Okay. So I want to welcome to the show Stephanie Morrison. Stephanie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. You are a unique diamond in the Proclivity Method alumni. In terms of how you came to the Proclivity Method, how well you have done, a multitude of the experiences that you've gone through, you went full in. Not saying that not everybody goes full in, but you just went, cool, anything and everything you guys say, I'm going to do. And you got extraordinary results. And so I'm really excited to be able to talk about those results with you today. Yet, let's get to know a little bit about Stephanie. I know you, Emily knows you, but the people listening, maybe not so much. Or maybe they do. Let's first start off with Stephanie. We already know what Emily does for work. Stephanie, what do you do for a living?
I work at a commercial real estate firm. I've been here for just under 5 years. I work on a team focusing on retail and supporting that team with their transactions day to day.
You can give a shout out for the company. What company is it?
Logic Commercial Real Estate.
There it is. If you guys have any commercial real estate needs, you just call Stephanie because she's the glue that literally keeps it all together. For real. And before joining Logic, what were you doing?
I was still in real estate, worked at another real estate company just after I graduated from college. So been around it, different facets of real estate, focusing on marketing, operations, and then into the grind of transactions.
Yes. And what did you graduate with?
My degree is in journalism.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. No wonder she was so dialed in on all the stuff that we handed out. Steph was so dialed in. Guys, we give a ton of different content out. Videos, audio, written, blogs, all these things. And Stephanie just ate it all up. No wonder she crushed it. So you've been in the commercial real estate game. That's a pretty high intensity workspace in terms of a lot of money on the line, a lot of different things and parts moving. Would you say that your job is relatively high intensity?
It is high intensity, a lot of stressors going on throughout the day, and no day is ever the same. There's always something new, something changing.
And so that with a job that's constantly changing, that could be really challenging when it comes to all other aspects of your life, being able to create space for yourself, your relationships, personal development, health, fitness, and so on and so forth, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And here we came. Proclivity. How did you get introduced to us?
My first introduction to Proclivity was actually Joel temporarily using our workspace as he started up Proclivity, but didn't know a lot about it at that time and the program, other than just overhearing a few conversations and things that Joel was working on. After that, Logic hired Proclivity to do a corporate wellness challenge. It was a 6-week challenge that we all participated in. And after that 6 weeks were up, continued talking to both you and Emily and decided to jump into the full Proclivity Method.
That the corporate wellness challenge, that was a ton of fun. We were talking about that before the podcast started. We used some neurochemistry to be able to create action, and it worked really well. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yes. And Stephanie was one that wanted more. When we offered and we said, hey, do you want to take the next level? Stephanie put her hand up in the air. So, Stephanie, what was your decision to go towards the Proclivity Method?
My initial reaction was some hesitation, thinking that I had kind of already done it in the corporate portion of the program and that it was just going to be repeating that. But after a call with both of you and talking through it more and already having results in my first few weeks that we had worked together, I decided to go with it and was extremely successful and very happy with that decision.
Words matter, folks. Extremely successful. And I would second that. Emily, would you?
Yeah. Not only was she literally like the MVP of the corporate wellness challenge, she carried that right on into her own journey of starting the Proclivity Method.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said something there, Stephanie, that I want to touch on. You said, well, is it going to be similar to the corporate challenge, right? And maybe there was some bleed over a little bit, but there were some differences. I'm curious, have you ever done any type of nutrition program, diet in the past? And was that successful, not successful? What's the difference between that and the Proclivity Method?
Yeah, my only experience with other nutrition programs would have just been either like a fad diet or diets that I researched. I did read a book on like setting lines. I can't remember what kind of program that was, and none of those stuck in the past, but they were all very like restrictive focused and not necessarily geared toward making healthy decisions, but just toward how to try to have like a quick fix.
And those quick fixes, and particularly, and we learned this in the Proclivity Method, don't eat that, can't have that. We know those as negations. And so what does the brain think of then, Stephanie?
That I want it.
Me too. Weird how that works. And this is the psychological part that we bring into the Proclivity Method. 50% of creating a healthier body and happier life is the physiological side. What are we eating? What's the chemistry happening within us? The other 50% is what's the identity that we have with food and ourselves and our joy and our language that's driving us towards a new identity. And so you searched and you tried to find some changes. What was the difference with the Proclivity Method in terms of what you tried in the past?
I think the mindset was a huge difference between the others. Now, when I see something that I don't want to eat, for example, that isn't within the diet that I want to follow, my mindset isn't that I can't have that. It's that I don't want to put that into my body and I don't want to feel the way that I'll feel after I eat it.
Emily, you're such such a proud moment. Go ahead.
Yep. I'm like, oh, if everyone could just learn that perspective, and it takes time and experience, right, of testing that out. And that's a huge thing we applaud you for, continuously to continue to put yourself out there, experiment, learn from it without the judgment, right? And be like, oh, I tried that, didn't like it, didn't feel good in my body. So very proud.
It's a reverse engineering, folks, that we do here at the Proclivity Method. See, a lot of the times with other diets, they're saying, don't eat this, can't have this. Where we go, oh, we want you to add more of this, right? Did we ask you to add something to your water?
Yes, you did.
Did we ask you to add more protein?
Yes.
Did we ask you to add more of the right fat?
Yes.
Did we ask you to add the right carbohydrates?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting, folks? That all these other diets are telling you, you can't have this, don't do this, you eliminate this. And how does that work out?
It's complete opposite of what you need to be doing.
Well, you guys, it makes so much sense to me and to Emily and to Stephanie, because we've all been through it and we do it. I'm at a loss of words. Emily, take over.
It's simple. And so you are a prime example of taking those the 12 nutritional habits, the 12 mindset techniques, taking those and actually playing them out. So speaking of that, was there anything that was confusing? Was there anything challenging or complicated about our Proclivity Method program?
There was nothing confusing or complicated, but not everything was easy to do.
Yeah. And what was one thing that was, and I'm going to put the words in your mouth, it's simple concept, right? But not easy actually doing it day in and day out. What was an example of that, but that has also paid off a lot of benefit?
For me, a big struggle was sleeping in my sleep schedule, setting everything aside, making sure I had a schedule of when I needed to start getting ready for bed, get into bed, not being on my phone. When I wake up, not immediately being on my phone. That was a big struggle for me, but having that rest has been huge for the success that I've seen and my energy.
And has that been able to? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I sorry, Emily, I'm just hopping in because we were talking about a high intensity workspace where you got to be on top of it. And if you are foggy brained, low energy, lack of focus, we could be losing thousands, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not even millions, when you're talking about commercial real estate, correct?
Yes, definitely.
And so it's essential to be able to have a very clear mind. And have you found that you have more energy, a clearer mind, and better focus at work?
Yes, I have. And by setting those boundaries, even if I'm not available for the hours that I set, I am doing a better job at the hours that I am available than being 50% available 100% of the time.
Yes. More efficient in the time that you are working.
Yeah.
For sure.
Better balance in life and work.
Absolutely.
Less stressed.
Yes.
Less anxious.
Yes.
More in control.
Always.
Go ahead and visit our website, guys. You'll see it at the very front. I just labeled off all the things. This is the best testimonial ever. Emily, I can't control myself. Keep going.
We often ask this question in our graduation calls, but was there something that you learned about yourself throughout the Proclivity Method? And what I mean by that is we come into it thinking like, oh, I got to lose weight. A lot of people, right? I got to lose weight, or I got to just be healthier. I got to eat better. I got to work out more. But is there something you learned about yourself in shifting that focus, right? The thoughts that go through your head.
My initial thoughts were that I had limits of the success that I could have. And I've learned that those limits don't exist by going through the program.
And that just made Joel's day.
Yeah, just put it on a billboard. I don't know how much was a billboard cost. 5,000. I'll put it on a billboard. F it. Where's the Amex?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Okay. Well, what were some of the biggest changes that you made, or some of the changes you made that made the biggest difference in your days moving forward and how you feel?
One huge change has been the amount of protein that I've had in my diet and fat. My goals before were like having low fat items and trying to restrict carbs, and then questioning why I didn't have energy to get through the day.
And maybe was hungry.
Yeah. Understanding like a healthy fat and why my body needs it, and controlling the other aspects of like eating fats but not like having fast food, where it was a huge change for me in my diet.
Isn't it funny? It's like, again, you guys, like, we're sitting here and we're like, and you can listen to Stephanie. Stephanie's like, it wasn't confusing. Like, all we did was just go, hey, you've been going this direction. Just turn the ship just a little to the left, and then have confidence that it's going to work. And here's Stephanie. Now, when did you graduate? Three months ago?
Right
4 months ago?
right before Christmas.
Yeah. And okay, well, let's see this, you guys. You guys are like, oh, well, it's great when you have, a coach in your corner the entire time, right? And accountability. Stephanie, have you continued to see success, and have you kept those habits 4 months later?
Yes to both.
And could you see this actually being a lifestyle change that could last your entire life?
I do, yes. I can feel it every day when I'm continuing to make the decisions that I do. I know that it's now my lifestyle and not just a challenge or something I'm trying to accomplish.
Bang. The identity has shifted, and you just heard it from her. There's no finish line. There's no restrictions. It's Stephanie making decisions for Stephanie. And the decisions, guess what? They're simple. And the more and more that you do it, Stephanie, actually the easier and easier it becomes. Is that true? I mean, from the corporate to the Proclivity Method to 4 months later, have you found that those habits have become easier and easier?
Yes, they're less of a challenge or a goal and more just what happens day to day in my life without me thinking about it.
Lights out, y'all. And listen, you guys may be thinking, oh, this is your superstar. Hell yeah, it's our superstar. Why? Because she did everything we said to do. That was it. And again, it wasn't like we asked her to, sell her soul. We just said, hey, here they are. The same things that Emily does, the same things that I do. Do the things that we're doing, and we'll help guide you through it. And here you are. And what to be able to give to people who are listening right now, what are some of your biggest successes? Almost a year, we're coming up on a year of you starting working with us. What are some of your biggest flags you could put in the ground, whether that's physiological, mental, nutrition, fitness, whatever, from comparison to where you were?
Yeah, I definitely don't use negations as often, which is a difficult sentence to say.
Yes. Negation acknowledged. We can acknowledge
it. And I put positive energy into the things that I'm doing, even if it's something that I'm not looking forward to doing. I see it as an opportunity to grow and to move ahead, and having that mindset helps me have a better mental attitude toward everything that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
on the physiological side, definitely have lost a significant amount of weight, decreased multiple clothing sizes over the course of the program, and continued on after that, and have a much greater amount of energy in my personal life and in professional life.
The biggest wins. The freaking biggest wins. Stephanie, I am so proud of you for your commitment to yourself, your commitment to the Proclivity Method, your commitment to the corporate Proclivity Challenge. You have done such an incredible job, and I congratulate you over and over. I know we had our graduation call, and now here we are, in the public's eye. I want you to know how proud Emily and I are of you for what you have done for yourself, for your family, for your work colleagues. They've all noticed. We all know them, and they all go like, "I don't get it. Like, how did Stephanie get such good results? Like, I mean, she just keeps losing weight, and she's like looking incredible, and her energy's different." And we're just like, you guys just aren't willing to follow the simple steps, right? And you did, and dang proud of you. Dang
Well,
proud
thank
of you.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, Emily, any other questions before we wrap this up with Stephanie?
Yeah, Stephanie, is there anything that you would say to the person who's listening out there, still curious, like, oh, I don't know, should I sign up? Should I take the risk? I still don't totally know what this whole Proclivity Method is about. Is there anything that you would say to that person to give them some better insight?
My first comment would be to set up a call between either one of you or both of you to get more details and a better understanding of what they can expect out of the program. I was also hesitant and not sure if it was a good use of time, a good use of money, something that I wanted to commit to. And I have absolutely no regrets. And I wish that I could go back and tell myself to have done it even just a week earlier and just get started even faster on the program. So
That's fantastic.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, best day ever, best testimonial ever, best podcast ever. You guys, if this has moved you at all, and if it hasn't moved you and you've made it to this far in the podcast, check your pulse. I don't know if you're alive or not, because this is a true testimonial of what the Proclivity Method is about. And if you are interested, truly reach out. Go to www.proclivity.co, book your clarity call. It is a free coaching call where we will help you on that call. It will be a valuable call to you. And if at the end, after having that valuable call, you're like, wow, these guys really know what they're talking about, and you're interested in the Proclivity Method, we'll tell you about it. If you're not, great. You got a free coaching call from high caliber coaches. And obviously, as Stephanie has shown today, it works. It works. So, Stephanie, anything else you would like to say before we close this out?
I would like to thank both of you for all the time that you've spent with me during the Proclivity Method, the corporate wellness program, and inviting me on to talk about my path that I've been on. And just note that every single aspect, I would say, of my life has changed since going through the program, and I'm very grateful for everything that you've done.
So sweet.
Yep. If you guys are listening right now, both Emily and I are blushing. This will also be on YouTube, so you can see our red, rosy cheeks. We are so humbled. And Stephanie, thank you. We received that. That is so kind of you. And it was an incredible journey to be with you. And as we continue forward, I mean, obviously, you're not getting rid of us. So, or maybe you didn't know, but we'll find you. Emily, anything else?
No, thank you so much, Stephanie. It's always so nice to check back in with you.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 106, a Proclivity Testimonial with Stephanie. If you are interested, please reach out. We're here for you. We hope that you have the best day ever. And until we meet again, Emily, I stole your thunder, but go ahead.
Best day ever.
Best day ever.